Hi, I'm Terry White for Havel Scissors. I'm going to show you a little artistic scissors pocket project. In my notebook you can see my drawing, which was the original concept for this project. My intention was to use the scissors themselves as the pattern to trace for my applique. Here's the pattern that I've drafted for this project, and you'll find the drawing and templates and project instructions on Havel Scissors website. Here are the front and back pieces of my pocket. They've been cut out and fused to the lining fabric. Here are the individual applique pieces, and I use a piece of fusible paperback web, and what you can see, I've started tracing it already, and I'll use a pencil, and if you have a hard time following a line just right, you can do little dash marks. You can also use a color pencil if you want. After you trace your design on the fusible web, then you're going to choose your fabric pieces and press each piece to the fabric. Now, if I'm going to be cutting something with a hole in it, I'll cut the hole out first. Now I'm using these little 5.5-inch curved scissors, are the star of the show. This is what we're making the pocket for. But they're very, very sharp, very nice. You can see how sharp they are. Okay, so I'll cut the little center out first, and I'm going to do a little bit of a trim right there. Now the next thing I'll do is what I call a pre-pull, and that is I'll pull away some of the fusible web so that after I've cut the design out, I'm not going to have a hard time pulling the fusible web, pulling the paper off of the fabric with the fusible web on it. See, I like these scissors. They have this nice little curve, which gives me good curves, and the point is so nice and sharp that I can get into intricate spaces. There. Now I'm going to show you that little pre-pull that I was talking about. All I have to do is remember where I pre-pulled it. Okay, you see? And so now there's none of that, you know, trying to boop it away from the fabric. There we go. And here's my little piece. I also like to keep the fusible web onto an applique piece until I'm ready to put it where it goes. Now, when I cut these little pink handles out, they're going on the blue scissors. And I cut them a little bit smaller, and I cut the blue scissor handles a little bit bigger, so you have this nice shadowing. Now, if I'm going to be cutting something with the fusible web on it that is very angular, see, I'm doing my pre-pull, I'll use a rotary cutter to cut it out. There's no reason not to. And I'll just line up my ruler along the cut line. This is a really nice rotary cutter. Oh, it'll be better if I'm lined up right. It's a very nice rotary cutter. It's big. The handle's easy to hold on to. This rotary cutter is from Havel Scissors. Here we go. Just want to see that line right. Okay. So now I'm going to bring my front piece over. Here are a couple of pieces that I've already cut out. What I've cut out here is much bigger than the finished project, because when you do stitching and different manipulation, it can possibly change the shape and change the size. So what I want you to see here, see, now what we got here is, see, the scissors are cutting this fabric and the sides are folding back. So I used a stripe to really show you how when you put your design on the fabric itself, you're going to want to kind of go on a bias. These are two different fabrics. This one's lighter than this, but with the same design. Okay. All right, now you're going to want to look at your design. In this case, I've got one finished here, as to how to place all your pieces. And so the scissors are going to go down right here, and you can see that this one piece is going to overlap the scissors. So let's see, how did I do that? I'm going to scoot the scissors back up in here. Okay, there we go. So what you have here is you've got this little blue, really brilliant blue silhouette of scissors, and they help define, that blue helps define the differentiation in the handles. I got that wrong. Here we go. The handles from the background fabric. Isn't that fun? All right, so this is the design almost finished, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press this. So my next step would be to do some stitching or to add some paint, fabric paint along the edges of these pieces. And then after that, I'm going to cut the shape. Now I've just used dots. I line my ruler up on the dots to cut the shape. When I cut, I hold the edge of my ruler with my finger to keep it from sliding. And I angle my rotary cutter in a little bit. And that gives me really good control. And I cut. This is a really nice big rotary cutter, so it's get big swoops. Cut with big swoops. And of course, always remember to close up your rotary cutter when not in use. Right, now I'm going to lay, this is my back, and I'm going to lay it underneath, and I'm going to cut it with the top piece. Too often when I cut shapes, the front and the back aren't the same shape or size. And then when I go to stitch them together, I have a little problem. This is going to be stitched together with an edge stitch, front and back together, with no turning inside out. I've edge stitched the front and the back pocket pieces together, see, using an overlock stitch and an edge foot with decorative thread. And now I'm going to work on the neck strap, and I'm using a strip of fabric. I've got fusible web on it, and I'm going to pull this off, and I'm going to fuse it to a contrasting fabric. So I'm using these beautiful pinking shears by Havel's to cut my double fused fabric. You see I'm going to cut this side, and you see it's a different fabric on the other side. So by cutting small enough, you get a really nice strap. So after fusing the two pieces together, I used pinking shears to cut the shape, and then I bar tacked it to the top of the pocket. So here is my little artistic scissors pocket with my scissors inside, and I hope you've enjoyed this project. This is Terry White for Havel Scissors.